The forest was quiet, filled with the whispers of nature. I approached Buddha, seeking guidance on life's uncertainties and impermanence. Buddha smiled at me, his eyes glowing with wisdom. "Sit," he said, gesturing toward the moss-covered rock beside him. The evening air was cool, and a soft breeze rustled the leaves. I settled down, ready to listen. "Life," Buddha began, "is a fleeting moment between birth and death. Everything you cherish will eventually slip through your grasp." His voice was calm, yet each word carried the weight of truth. I felt a knot of fear in my chest. "Why?" I asked. "Must everything be impermanent? Is there no joy that lasts forever?" My voice trembled. Seeking clarity, Buddha gazed at the horizon. The sunset bathing his face in golden light. "Impermanence is the essence of joy," he replied. He continued, "Would you cherish a flower that blooms eternally? Its beauty lies in the fragility of its petals." His words stirred an ache in me, yet they also brought an unfamiliar sense of peace. "How can I embrace this truth?" I asked. Buddha clasped his hands together, his posture serene. "By living in the present. The moments you savor are the treasures of life." The sound of birds echoed through the forest, their calls blending into the rhythm of our conversation. "Inhale the present moment, my child, and exhale the burdens of yesterday. Each breath is a step toward liberation," he said. "It is not an end but a transformation." His words resonated deeply, yet they felt challenging to accept. "Transformation," I repeated, my thoughts swirling like fallen leaves. Buddha leaned forward slightly, his presence comforting. "Pain teaches us wisdom. It is through loss that you learn to value the essence of life." His wisdom struck me like a flash of light, illuminating the shadows of doubt within me. "But how do I find peace in loss?" I asked. "By letting go," Buddha replied. "To cling is to suffer. To release is to find freedom and inner calm." A deer wandered into view, grazing peacefully under the golden hue of dusk. I watched it, contemplating his words. "Letting go sounds frightening," I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. "Does it mean forgetting what matters?" Buddha shook his head slowly. "It does not mean forgetting." Buddha's tale of betrayal served not as lament but as a lesson, a testament to the resilience of compassion. The trials we face reflect the inner storms we must calm, he said, voice steady as branches swayed above. I felt their truth, yet fear lingered in my heart. "Master, I fear the void left behind by letting go," I confessed. "What fills the emptiness within?" Buddha lifted his gaze toward the heavens, the stars beginning to emerge. "Compassion fills the void. Love restores the space left by loss." His words soothed me like a lullaby, yet their depth challenged me to explore further. "Compassion," I said, "is it an endless source?" "Compassion," Buddha responded, "is infinite like the sky. By sharing compassion, you nurture life and find fulfillment in giving freely." The melody of night emerged around us, the sound of crickets blending with the rustle of leaves. I felt my soul stirring. "But how do I give freely when I feel empty?" I asked, my voice hesitant. "How do I offer what I lack?" "You must first nurture compassion within yourself," Buddha replied. "Kindness begins in your heart and flows outward to others." His wisdom touched my being, bringing tears to my eyes. "Kindness toward myself," I whispered. "I have neglected it greatly." The forest speaks not only through its sounds but also through its silences, the Buddha explained, his voice serene. "Within silence lies strength. Anjali, accept your imperfections and grow." The night deepened, the stars casting light through the canopy of trees. I felt their distant glow touch my spirit. "Master," I said, "I want to understand impermanence fully." She closed her eyes again, allowing her breath to anchor her, each inhale and exhale bringing her closer to stillness. The cacophony within her began to quiet, her fears and doubts losing their grip as she embraced the present moment. Appreciate the transient moments, the laughter of friends, the beauty of sunrise, the warmth of love. His guidance painted life in hues I had overlooked. I felt the desire to live deeply, free from fear of change. Do not fear change, Buddha said. As though reading my thoughts, peace arises from within. Anjali. When the mind is no longer ruled by its own ceaseless chatter, the Buddha replied. But how do I carry this peace into the world, Lord? She asked, her determination tempered with sincere humility. Thank you, Master, I said, bowing deeply. Your teachings awaken me to new truths. Be like the leaf, Anjali. Carry your peace into the world by embracing its flow without attachment or aversion, he said. Embrace them and live with peace. As he walked away, his footsteps blending with the symphony of nature, I felt a quiet awakening within my soul. The forest embraced me, its serenity reflecting the lessons I had learned. I sat, meditating on impermanence and its profound beauty. Another day, another moment beneath the vast canopy of Veluvana's trees. I approached Buddha seeking wisdom to ease my weary soul. Buddha greeted me with a serene smile, his presence a calming force in the stillness of the morning light. I sat before him, burdened by thoughts of a farmer's tale I had heard the previous night. The farmer, I said, lost his crops to a storm. His despair moved me deeply. How can he find hope? Buddha closed his eyes momentarily, his breath steady as the gentle rustling of leaves. Hope lies in compassion, he said. His words were simple, yet profound. Compassion, he continued, is the bridge that binds hearts in times of suffering and strengthens the weakened spirit. I nodded, trying to grasp the depth of his teaching. But Master, I asked, how can compassion ease suffering when nothing can undo the farmer's loss? Compassion does not undo loss, Buddha replied, his voice steady. It transforms pain into purpose, nurturing healing through connection and kindness. His words resonated within me, igniting both curiosity and admiration. How do we offer compassion when we ourselves feel empty? I asked. Compassion flows endlessly, Buddha answered. The heart is never truly empty, only clouded by fear, grief, or doubt. The sound of birdsong punctuated his teachings, the melody weaving into the fabric of his wisdom. I listened intently, seeking clarity. Buddha continued, begin by recognizing your own suffering. To understand your pain is to open the path of empathy for others. I thought of the farmer, his sorrow etched into his voice as he described his family's plight. Compassion seemed both vital and elusive. The act of giving, Buddha said, is not diminished by your own struggles. It enriches both the giver and the receiver. I looked at him, wondering how I might embody such selflessness. Master, I said, can one truly give without expecting anything in return? Buddha's gaze softened, his voice unwavering. True giving stems from love, not expectation. It requires letting go of desires for recognition or reward. His words struck a chord within me, challenging the norms I had clung to. But doesn't giving leave us vulnerable? I asked hesitantly. Vulnerability is the root of human connection, Buddha said. In our openness, we find strength, understanding, and the beauty of unity. The wind stirred the leaves overhead, and I felt as though his words were clearing the storm within my heart. Compassion is like water, Buddha continued. It nourishes the roots of life, carving through barriers and shaping a more harmonious existence. His analogy brought vivid images to my mind, images of rivers weaving through parched lands, bringing life where none seemed possible. Master, I said, how can we guide others to accept compassion when they are consumed by anger or grief? Approach them gently, Buddha advised. Be the still water that reflects their pain with clarity, not the torrent that overwhelms them. I absorbed his wisdom, inspired yet challenged by its depth. Master, I asked, Do you ever feel the weight of suffering? Buddha's smile held a hint of sadness, but his eyes remained serene. I feel the world's suffering, yet it does not consume me. His response intrigued me, sparking another question. How do you bear the weight without being overwhelmed? I asked. Through balance, Buddha replied. By meditating, reflecting, and serving, compassion empowers me to transform suffering into light and purpose. His words resonated deeply, illuminating a path I had only glimpsed before. Master, I said, I wish to walk this path. Buddha leaned forward, his posture inviting understanding. Then begin today, he said, by offering kindness to all, yourself included. Compassion starts with small, intentional acts. The simplicity of his instruction touched my heart. I will try, I said, feeling both hopeful and humbled. Thank you, Master. Buddha nodded, his presence as steady as the ancient tree that shaded us. Compassion is a journey. Walk it with patience and courage. The morning sun bathed the clearing in soft light. And I rose, feeling the profound lesson settle within me. As I left Veluvana, my steps carried newfound resolve. Buddha's teachings echoed in my soul, guiding me toward compassion in every breath. Another day, another lesson awaited under the shade of the Bodhi tree. I approached Buddha, seeking clarity for my troubled heart. The afternoon sun cast long shadows, and a cool breeze carried the scent of blossoms. Buddha's presence exuded calm and purpose. His words resonated deeply within the disciples, sparking reflections of their own relationships and the possibility of healing. The Buddha's gaze rested on Punna, his youngest disciple, before sweeping over all gathered. To release is not to abandon, he said. It is to embrace life without clinging. His words brought both comfort and challenge. But Master, I asked, why do attachments form so strongly, even when they cause suffering? Attachments arise, Buddha explained, because the mind seeks permanence in an impermanent world. Fear and desire fuel this endless cycle. I nodded, his wisdom resonating deeply. Then how do we break free from the grip of fear and desire? I inquired. Buddha folded his hands, his posture reflecting inner peace. The first step is awareness. Recognize the roots of your attachments. The gentle rustle of leaves seemed to echo his advice. I thought of the ties that held me, both comforting and confining. Master, I asked, what if letting go feels like losing a part of oneself? How can one embrace such loss? Buddha smiled faintly, his expression unwavering. Letting go does not diminish you. It allows your true self to emerge, unburdened and free. His response stirred something within me, a glimmer of hope amidst the weight of uncertainty. Master, I said, please guide me further. Imagine holding a flame, Buddha said. The tighter you grasp, the more it burns. To let go is to find relief. The simplicity of his metaphor brought clarity to my mind. I reflected on the many flames I had clung to, fearing their absence. Letting go requires trust, Buddha continued. Trust in the flow of existence, and trust that release opens the door to peace. Like a pond, the mind must settle for its waters to reflect truth, he said. I inhaled deeply, feeling the stillness of the moment, allowing his words to permeate the layers of resistance within me. But Master, I asked, what replaces the void left by attachments? How does one live without holding on to anything? The void, Buddha replied, is filled with love and compassion. These are limitless and need no attachment to thrive. His words resonated deeply, illuminating a path I had not yet seen. Love without attachment, I repeated. It feels paradoxical. True love, Buddha said, is free from possession. It seeks not to control but to uplift and nurture the beloved. The setting sun painted the sky with hues of gold and crimson. I felt its beauty as a symbol of impermanence. Master, I said, I want to live with this freedom you speak of. Where do I begin? Begin with yourself, Buddha advised. Learn to let go of guilt, regret, and self-judgment. Embrace forgiveness as a path to freedom. The magnitude of his guidance weighed gently on my heart. Master, I asked, is letting go an act of courage or surrender? It is both, Buddha replied. Courage to face the unknown and surrender to the truth of impermanence. They are intertwined. His teachings stirred a quiet strength within me. I began to see letting go not as loss but as transformation. Transformation, Buddha said, sensing my thoughts, is the essence of life. Clinging prevents growth. Release allows you to blossom fully. The forest seemed to agree with his words. Its cycles of renewal reflected in every leaf, flower, and branch around us. His words settled into the silence, resonating deeply with each of us. Their truth undeniable. The disciples bowed low, their gestures filled with respect and reverence, their hearts touched by the light of his teachings. I have learned from it and transcended its hold. His honesty inspired me, showing that even the greatest teacher had walked the path of growth and understanding. Master, I said, your teachings give me hope. Yet, the journey feels daunting. How does one sustain the strength to persist? Through practice and patience, Buddha replied. Each moment of release brings clarity, and clarity strengthens the spirit for the next step. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow. I felt as though the day's lessons were etched into my soul. Thank you, Master, I said, bowing deeply. Your wisdom lights my path, even when the way ahead feels uncertain. Buddha rose gracefully, his presence radiating peace. The path is yours to walk, he said. May each step bring you closer to freedom. As he walked away, his figure became one with the dusk, leaving me alone to reflect on the teachings I had received. The forest embraced me, its serene rhythm mirroring the truths I now carried. I resolved to walk the path of letting go, speak with empathy, connecting their experiences to teachings that resonate universally. Arav nodded. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.